Coming in hot, I'm your host and captain of the Reason to Reason podcast, Sal Galati. We're going to do something a little bit different. You're just going to get a taste, a dose of reason. This is a sad story, but I wanted to talk about it because I think there's a lot to learn from it. And I took my time with this because I wanted to make sure I got it right to the best of my ability. Wish our actual media would do the same. I got an email from a friend going to our schools here, and essentially she got a note that said, "You're receiving this message because one or more of your students are not fully immunized against MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, and they recommend that they get it." To date, they talk about that there's been 177 cases in the U.S., and it's an outbreak. And in Texas, they had 159 reported cases, and there was a fatality of a school-age child. The child was not vaccinated. So another thing they mentioned, if it is state law, apparently, if there is a case of measles in the school, that those who are not fully immunized have to miss school for 21 days from the date of the last exposure or until they receive acceptable proof of immunity. To that, I'd ask, I don't know if the student would get a refund on their tuition, which is our property taxes, probably not. But here's what I wanted to say on the topic, and it's maddening. So they write, "You're receiving this message because one or more of your students are not fully immunized." So the other families that are immunized, do they not need to know this information of this massive outbreak that killed one person that we'll talk about later, how they died? No, this is an intimidation tactic. This is to tell people, we know that you're not immunized. We're keeping an eye on you. It's pure intimidation, and it's disgusting. And as far as MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, why is it that in 2025, with all the money spent on vaccines and vaccine research, if an American family would only like to get their child one of these vaccines, that they can't? It's not even available. You could go to a marijuana dispensary and get stoned 75 different ways. Up, down, edible, smoke it, drink it, look at it. But to get a vaccine for just one of the ailments that you're concerned about, it's not available. I don't know how that makes any sense. And then as regards to this vaccine and anti-vax and all this garbage, this is a completely personal opinion. I think there has been research in individual vaccines, and they could say that they're safe. Relatively safe. I mean, nothing's completely safe, right? You're putting something in your body. Things happen. But I don't think they've done the proper research to study how many vaccines a child could take in a period of time and what those ramifications are. And maybe that research will happen. And maybe that research is done, but make that public. Let the people know. Because I think the people's intuition is starting to resonate, and they're starting to make some sense. But I wanted to talk about this girl. I'm going to post the article in the show notes, and I listened to the doctors reviewing the case file interviewed, and I am so disgusted because the whole media went around running that this child, including this email from the school district, that this child died of measles and was unvaccinated. Now, all the other kids that got measles, they didn't tell us their vaccination status. We know the vaccination status of the one who died, and now they're exploiting this young girl's death, which is disgusting to me. So these poor parents, turns out they turned over the file to a doctor, and because the other siblings had measles, they were fine. This particular girl was recovering from measles, completely fine, had a couple spots left on her leg, but developed community pneumonia, which is actually a common thing that happens after you fight off any virus. Your immunity is weakened, you're more susceptible to pick up pneumonia, okay? And when she came into the hospital, she was diagnosed appropriately, but given the wrong antibiotics. She deteriorated. By the time they got to the right antibiotic to deal with the bacteria she was fighting with, she had already declined fibrillator and she died. And the whole media is running around telling everyone that she died of measles. Not only that, they're making the parents look like rubes, like hillbilly, toothless morons, when actually they made a conscious decision on how they wanted to take care of their child, and they decided not to get her this vaccine. Turns out she didn't need it, and she didn't die of measles. She died of malpractice. Now, I'm not blaming the doctors. Things happen. I'm blaming the media, all right? We have a propaganda that's going viral here, an outbreak of madness, and it's disgusting. And instead of trying to freak everyone out over a disease, a virus that's actually most healthy kids can deal with quite easily, you freak everyone out. People want to get it, they get it. People don't want to get it, leave them alone. Tell the people the facts of the matter and let them make a decision. It's the same message from experts, modern-day false prophets. I don't know about you, but I don't like being peed on and being told it's raining. I've had enough of the lies. I encourage you to pray for this poor family, for comfort and wisdom. They know they're going to see their beautiful girl one day again. Pray for protection, too, from these monsters that are exploiting them, try to make them look out to be fools. And how honorable these people are. They released a file not to cause a media sensation. They just wanted the truth to get out there. Spread the word. Share the truth. Talk soon. If you like that little dose of reason and you want to hear some more, there's some longer episodes in the library. Check them out. Send in your ideas, reasons to reason@gmail.com. Share it. Pass it along. Keep talking. Peace.